So which one you want to start with first, the one on the top? That's what started the madness. This is my 2003 350Z Touring Edition. This is actually what started all the
obsession,
madness with the Z car. And my second car that I purchased after this one was the 10th anniversary.
It's over there. You'll see that later.
You'll see that in a while. It's the 1980 ZX 10th anniversary edition. And then after that, it was a 240Z. And
Which had a very, very, very long renovation. It was supposed to be 16 months, took almost 4 years.
this one here is, some people refer to as Godzilla in Japan. And I tried to get that license plate, Godzilla, when I bought this. It was already taken. So I got the license plate, and it says Sayonara. So got some Japanese in there anyway. But this car is, obviously it's not a Z, but it's a Nissan product. And this one, you're talking 545 horsepower. And this is the 10th anniversary edition. I'm the second owner. It's got about 29,000 original miles on it. Most of these cars, I'm either the original owner or the second owner. I don't like to purchase something with too many owners involved. Same thing with this car. I'm the second owner. It's the referred to as the Z with the Zap, and the reason for that is this was the first year of this 5-speed transmission. So we just got back from the Z-Con in California, and I displayed this car over there. I purchased this car probably back around, I'm gonna say 07, 08, and had it for a number of years. It was just completely stock. I didn't do anything to it. And then somewhere around 09 or 10, I purchased a G-nose kit from a guy in San Diego. And I held on to that for a few years, knowing that one of these days I'm gonna get around to a restoration. And my goal was to do it old school Japanese style, and that's essentially what I accomplished with the G-nose kit, the Watanabe wheels, the fender mirrors, the wheel flares, and I accomplished what I wanted to do with it, and it's running very well now. Took a little while to get it to that point. So this is the 50th anniversary. They made 50 of these in the red and white, and I believe they made 250, I hear, in the black and silver. This here is a 1978 280Z. It's what's called the Black Pearl Edition. And what makes it special is it's got special paint. It's called Black Pearl paint, and there's a code in there. If I look, I can't get to the hood now, but there's a decal under there that indicates that it's the correct paint for this car.
So I am Nismo Nick, and I am sitting here with the Gilberts. And if you don't know who the Gilberts are, they are very large Z enthusiasts. And I want to take a little bit of time to get to know where that passion started, what maybe their favorite Z was, maybe what their favorite Z wasn't. So kind of start to ask you both, when did you know the Z car was the one that you wanted?
From the first one, the 03 350Z.
Yeah, but you liked it way before that, when the first
Well,
one
that's
came
true
out,
too.
but you
I
couldn't
mean,
afford it.
Going back to my early 20s, when the 240 came out back in '69, we were just
Right out of high school.
we were just dating then, and before we got married. And then once we got married and planning on raising a family, there was no room for a 240Z, unfortunately.
And how long have you been married?
51 years.
And she's let you live that long?
I'd be out on parole if I had killed them.
Well, a lot of Z's in between that time period.
So, is there a Z that you wish you had you never had?
Yeah, I mean, probably the 432R out of, which wasn't available in the States, only available in Japan. Yes.
Is that that
One of the
orange?
rarer cars around.
Was that the orange one?
Yeah.
At the-
Yeah.
Is there any Z car that you absolutely just don't like?
No, I can't honestly say that.
So you would drive a 2+2?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Why?
The 2+2s are cool. I think that they're very, there's, the market for them is very low.
Are you talking about the Z32?
Any of
2
them.
plus 2?
Any of them.
Well, what I like about the 2+2 is it's got the longer wheelbase. It's a very nice riding car.
Yeah, and well, it's more of the grand touring car than anything. But I think that I remember that the 2+2s people thought were just geeky. Growing up as into the car scene, people wanted the twin turbo 300ZX from the 90s, and then you would see the 2+2, and everybody look at it, kind of side-eyed. It was like the stepchild of the Z.
Well, Japan, they made the 2+2 and a twin turbo, not for the States.
That's cool. That's cool. I think the one thing I wish that they still had in the Zs was T-tops. I love the T-tops.
Got a couple of them.
I mean, they all kind of leak, but
I like the convertible.
yeah. So what is your favorite Z car ever?
I knew one. I love the Zap. I just love that car. I don't know what. My first favorite one was the 10th anniversary, the black and gold. It rides nice. I just like that car. And then I got the Zap, and I was like, oh, it looks more like a sports car than the 10th anniversary.
Now, another car you fell in love with was, we were in the Z-Con in Memphis years ago, and Nissan unveiled a Nismo convertible.
The white one with the white interior.
I
White with
offered
the
to
white
buy
interior.
it right off the floor, and he wouldn't
And
sell it to me.
unfortunately, it was strictly prototype.
Yep. They brought that car to Nismo Fiesta in Texas. They brought that. They brought a Sentra Nismo. They brought one other car, but I remember I still have pictures on my phone of the white Nismo convertible with
you
the
wanna
white
buy it right
with
on
the
the
white
spot.
Recaros. Remember the white Recaros?
Yes.
I told him I would write him a check right then and there. Who was that?
So
Which
Nissan,
guy
if you're
was that?
listening, Nissan, you can definitely that white Nismo concept car sold. Celeste Gilbert will have it.
I told them when we went to Japan, I told them nobody listens to me.
I think we saw it again when we went to...
It was in Japan, in Zama, what is the name?
Zama?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you had a choice between the white Nismo or your new blue car,
I want the blue because it's more up to date. It has
Mm-hmm.
better features.
so when did you guys become like a full-blown Nissan family? Because you guys, they also have a Pathfinder, they have a Titan. So when did that become when were you like the
We have
Nissan
an
family?
Altima That's in New York.
Yeah, you get an Altima.
Well, to be honest, I had a Cadillac
We don't talk-
Escalade,
that-
and I traded it in for the Pathfinder.
We don't know what Cadillacs are on this channel, just so you know.
Well-
I didn't know there were other cars that weren't Nissan, but whatever.
But I traded it in for my first Pathfinder.
Okay.
And I drove that home, and I said to Bill, oh my God, this drives so much better than the Escalade. It had better turning ratio. The whole thing was better. And so here we are.
I think what's evolved over the years is the fact that as we started accumulating more Z cars, we just stuck with the brand because I like the fit and finish, the reliability of the Nissan product.
Yeah.
And what was also available to people that attended Z-Cons was if you were a registered guest for Z-Con, they provided you with a discount, which was the employee aid discount for any Nissan vehicle.
That's
So
pretty cool.
we took advantage of that on a couple of occasions.
I'll tell you about that one.
We'll talk about the exclusive another time.
Right.
So,
But
if you had to, here's a good question. If you could only have, and we won't include the new blue one,
Okay.
If you had to only have one car, you could only choose one Z. See if you guys choose the same one. If you could only choose one Z to keep for the rest of your life, what would it be?
What one would you choose?
I would say it'd have to be the new one because it's...
Not the blue one, isn't included. Any
Blue
of
one's
the
not
others?
included. Any of your current, well, I guess that's technically your car, but any Z that you've had besides the blue one, what would be the one you'd keep?
I would probably have to do the red one because it's automatic and I can't drive the stick anymore.
What would you choose?
It's not my favorite, but
Yeah, that's probably one I'd lean to because the engineering in that car is really, really neat.
but I'm not getting rid of any of them. He already sold one. And I'm selling another one.
What did you? What kind of car did you sell?
We sold a
Celeste?
Shiro about a year ago.
That kills me, by the way.
Well,
Well,
I
we didn't
needed the
know you
space.
then.
In my
I
heart,
needed the space and
beautiful car.
It killed Big Mike. He came out to buy it. He couldn't fit in it. He called the engineers at Nissan to see if the seat could be moved or whatever. He was like almost in tears. He was so upset.
So for those who don't know who Big Mike is, in a sentence or two, who is Big Mike?
He is the president of Empire Z in California.
You did that in one sentence.
I'm from New York. What do you
One
want?
sentence from Celeste is as rare as getting a blue on blue performance Z right now. Trust me. So when
Be good.
you cannot. So when you saw the blue Z pull up, what was your immediate reaction?
Well, I have to tell you, I saw a little bit of blue through the bushes when I was standing out there, and I said, I see some blue. And then when you drove it up, I mean, with the sun hitting it, and the color is even better, much better than those two that were at the convention, because you just did a great job on it. And my thing was, it's finally here. It was worth the wait.
So is this your last Z car?
Well, probably.
Unless another one comes out.
No, probably. First of all, we have no more room. We can't build another garage. And I am getting up there. So, I mean, how many? You could only drive one at a time.
You can, but I'm gonna kind of throw this out there because Bill is a very nice man, and I think he might need a Nismo.
I like the way you think.
No, he doesn't need a Nismo. If I knew then what I know now, he never would have gotten the 350.
Because look what happened.
Yeah.
Hey, there's worse things to collect. There are a lot of worse things to collect. Like I collect dogs, and I have too many dogs, and half of them are named after Nissan anyway.
We've done the dogs. We've done that bit, but, we want to be able to take up off and go when we want to go, and you have dogs. It's like having kids. So, no dogs. But when he went to buy the 350, he didn't go to buy. He went to look. And my last words to him as he walked out the door were, do not put a deposit on that car. And the first words he said to me when he walked in was, I put a deposit, but it's fully refundable.
I couldn't get the words out of my mouth fast enough.
You should have just started off with it's fully refundable. I put a deposit down.
But as not luck, but a dear, dear friend of ours, she called me to tell me that her husband was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer that day.
Oh wow.
And so I was in a very melancholy, and I said, life is short.
Buy the
Get the
car.
car.
Buy the car.
But if I knew that it was going to cost this obsession,
So speaking of obsession, back to the Nismo. So Bill is
he
allowed.
doesn't need the Nismo.
You don't need lots of things in life.
Right, but you get to a point where if you don't have room to put it, what do you do with it?
You give me things to store for you so you can put the Nismo in the garage.
And where are you going to store the
I don't
things?
know. I'm out of space.
I would be receptive to trading my GTR for a new Nismo.
Oh, when your son sees this, you're going to get a phone call.
Yeah, let's not talk about you trading in a GTR for your son's gonna. He'll come find me.
Well, then
yeah.
it'd be exclusive Z family if I trade the GTR.
Now the GTR. Let's talk about that briefly because this is much more a Z thing. But what about the GTR? And this is an interesting question. Isn't as special as the Z.
Well, it's a totally different car. As I think Tamara-san says, the Z is the dance partner to the GTR.
Yep.
And I think that's a good way of putting it. 'Cause
I don't think that the GTR has the legacy in the U.S. like the Z does.
No.
That's correct.
Because the GTR's only been out since '09 here.
Right,
And the Z's
correct.
been here since '69.
Yeah,
So
and
it's like there's
what-
generations of.
You're right,
Japan-
but when you go in somewhere in the GTR and the young guys and they're, oh, that's gorgeous. What kind of a car is that? And,
Yeah, in Japan it was known as the Skyline for years.
You know.
Yep.
but when you pull up, just driving, even pulling it, you stop at a gas station and everybody, oh, I had one of those. Oh, I had one of those.
You know, you got to a point with the GTR coming to the U.S. is, you know, you had to be in a financial position to buy one. You know, back in the 70s, I mean, money has changed, but those cars, I think, even now, a $55,000 car is more attainable than a $130,000 car.
Oh, definitely.
You know, and then if you even talk about the Nismo, and Nismo Z is, we don't know how much the Nismo Z is, Nissan,
But it's going to be a lot. We know that.
but it's still going to be, you know, we'll guess, educated guess, $160,000 less than a GTR Nismo. So, I mean, don't do math. That's how you do math.
I do have to say that the Nismo GTR was the one thing I really liked about it was how high the wing was on the back.
What does that do?
It catches the wind,
And what does it do?
and then you go like this.
Creates downforce.
That is Tech Talk with Celeste Gilbert on Downforce on the Nismo
I
GTR.
will be the first one to tell you I know nothing about how cars work or why they work. I'm still trying to figure out how they get the people in the TV. So what can I tell you? I don't know.
Like a poltergeist kind of thing, or like Jay Leno on TV.
You know, I've told people I could look at a car and tell you, oh, I like that car.
Or you don't like that
Or
car.
I don't like that car.
So here's
I looked at that blue one and I didn't even say I like it. I
You loved
said,
it.
I want it.
So here's a fun question. So the way that kind of the world is going and the way Nissan's going, if they came out with an electric Z, would you buy it?
I'm not buying an electric car. I'm sorry, but they have to be really tested well because they
Yeah.
keep
I
having
mean,
problems.
for me, I still like the smell of gasoline. I'd go with carburetors.
Would you, what if it was a hybrid? What if there was some sort of hybrid technology with the Z where it was, you know, partially electric or...
I thought I answered the question. We're not buying any more cars. We're done.
After the Nismo, absolutely.
No, before the NIS.
So I think...
My husband would like it. He promised my granddaughter when she was like 2, the 350 is hers.
You know,
But he
Where
won't-
do I fit in the kid lineup? I need to make this clear before, like, I need to know where in the lineup. I feel like I'm gonna get a bunch of posters and some diecast cars, and I'm okay with that too. So we're good there. We're fine there.
Well-
you're way down on the totem pole.
I
Sorry.
figured, yeah.
Sorry, but, you know, and she's driving and she's like, first she says to me, when am I going to get Grandpa Z? And I said, when he dies. And she didn't like that answer. She's like, oh. So then,
Well, yeah, you can't associate. Well, I got the car now. He's dead, but hey, I got my Z.
She can't even drive stick
so the
shift.
last time I said to her, you have to learn how to drive stick before we could give you that car. And my daughter-in-law pointed out,
And
ooh,
coming
she's
from you.
getting better.
And coming from you,
Yeah, well, I used to drive stick.
okay.
I have bad knees now. But he wouldn't even give them one of our extra cars because they have no garage. So he cannot get this beautiful
Car.
Nismo
Oh.
without a garage. Where's he going to put it?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, you.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll find room.
Oh, yeah.
Where? You're not taking
This
my
might
cars
turn into
out.
one of those like love it or list it shows where we're looking for a house in like a 30-car garage.
This is why we bought this house, I want you to know.
Well, you're out of space.
And we're out of space, so
You know what
that
you could do?
means
Like the hotel. Park your car in here.
that's okay.
No, that's not. You can
You
listen.
know those.
Get rid of the table.
No, you know
No, the
that.
pool table. Get
Yeah,
rid of the
we
pool
could
table.
put.
You know that door opens, the whole wall, it disappears.
Great. So I think that we should put a car in here. like the hotel, and then there's room for the Nismo.
Oh, well, we could put the green one in, so every time I go by, I could kick it.
You know,
Edit that out, please.
years ago, Barrett Jackson, when they auctioned off the Batmobile,
Yeah.
the guy that won the auction lived down in Chandler somewhere.
He put it in his
And he
house?
said he was putting it inside the house. Oh, yeah.
He's divorced now.
You don't know that.
So we will end here. If you guys could sum up your love and passion for Z in a couple words, what would they be for you?
I think it's all of the great friends that we've made, from the Japanese people that we met when we went to Japan, and all the people that we meet at all of these,
The Z-Cons.
the Z-Cons and the JCCS, and what's the other one that we do with up in Williams? It's, you know, I don't remember who was talking the first night. It might have been Mad Mike, about being a family. And that's what it feels like. Every time you go to one, you meet, you know, the same people over and over again, and they become family.
Yeah, you have the same interest on the same thing that brings everybody together.
And nobody is a snob
No.
like other places.
Nobody.
You know, I think to
Nobody.
me,
Oh, I'm sorry. We're not talking about diamonds.
that's not being a snob.
You just have good taste.
Well,
That's right.
Mr. K coined the phrase, love cars, love people, love life. And I think that pretty much sums it up.
See, I like your answer because I did say a couple words, and you know, in the Celeste fashion.
We met Mr. K when he was 104.
And that was when, well, how old were you then? 130?
I was 102. I was 2 years younger.
Good for you. Well, I hope that everybody out there sees that, you know, my generation, their generation, we can come together and share the passion for simply a car. Just a car that brings so many people together, the joy, and everybody has different tastes. Like we saw at the car show, you never saw the same car twice.
No.
Everybody has their own different take on it, which is really cool. So I still think that Nissan, if you're watching and you want to sell that white Nismo concept convertible with the white leather Recaros, I mean, if I'm Nismo Nick, what are you like?
Okay, you can sell it to him and I'll borrow it.
Perfect. Perfect. So I really thank you guys for letting me get your dream Z.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm glad that we got to talk about some passion.
I'm loving that car.
I know. She loves
It's
it.
killing me that it's leaving again.
I know. And if anybody out there wants a new Z, please don't ask me. I can't find them. They're not fun to get. And then you get them, and then you're just, everybody wants to touch it, and like, and then we're done.
Don't believe him, he could get them.
Yeah. Great.
Do I need to get one of those? Please do not touch my car.
Yes,
So
you
when
do.
I park it somewhere.
Yes, you do. Yep. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content. And yeah, Nismo Nick here with the Gilberts, and we thank you for watching our little Z Day.
Have a good day.